So this is the Z33 that we have been working on, and this is happy. And today we are about to start stripping out the car. So I'll go ahead and remove the wall front and start to remove the plenum so that we can have access to all these parts in front, so that it makes easy to do our job. So as you guys are seeing over there, we managed to remove the front bumper, and now I want to remove the front radiator. So for this I will need to remove the fan rod and the fans themselves, and then disconnect the pipes, and I should have the radiator out. Oh yeah, we managed to remove the radiator and the fans, as you can see right there, and we need to fix this radiator. I think you can see that they tried to use, I think it's GPU alt, to actually fix a leak that it was having right here on the top. So we'll take it to the radiator shop and ensure that they can fix that thing up there. So what I want to do next is to remove the intake, which is being held at by a ton of 10mm bolts. This is the progress that we made so far. So as you guys can see, we now have access to this side of the valve covers. We'll just need to move the wiring to ensure that we can easily work within the car. We also have access to the other side. So now I'll just cover with some piece of tape on the intake and start working on the front. So basically we need to remove all the accessory belts. I will need to jack up the car in order to remove the sump, because the sump will need to come out in order to remove some of the bolts that are, there are two bolts that are holding up this front cover. So we'll need, of course, to drain the oil, and we should be able to remove those.
Much later.
So another day, we managed to jack up the vehicle, and by this our goal is to remove the sump. We'll be draining all the oil that we have inside and remove the sump bolt, which is being held by some 10mm bolts. I'm glad that we bought the front seal, because as you guys are seeing over here, this car has been leaking from the front seal. Now I'm trying to remove the crank pulley. So you guys see right there, I just dropped this belt right there, and I already broke one of the breaker bars, and right now I will try with my torque wrench, which is what I have now. I hope I don't break it. I think we just managed to break loose the bolt. And voila! We managed to take it out. Whew. Yep. So now what we have to do is to keep removing all the accessory bolts. I will be untightening the AC compressor, all the accessory belts, the power steering pump, which is being held by a lot of 14 and 12mm bolts.
Many adorable hours later.
We have almost everything removed. The AC we just disconnected and set it aside. We did the same for the power steering pump. The crank pulley, it's out. As you guys can see, this front seal right here, as I mentioned to you guys, it was really leaking, so we had to remove it. So also we managed to remove, as you guys can see, the oil pan over there. And the main goal removing the oil pan is to be able to remove this bolt that you're seeing right there on the corner, and also that other one right there. So those are the bolts that we need to remove in order to be able to take out the pan. and this oil pickup is a little bit bent, but as I'm trying to see, I can't see nothing particularly, so looks good. So at this point we removed the bottom bolts, so now it's time to deal with all these 10 millimeters bolts that we have on the front. We should be able to take out this cover. Big Boss Daniel managed to remove the front timing cover, as you guys are seeing over there. So with this, it means that we can now set the engine to top dead center, and we should be able to start removing the timing sprockets, and then we will move on to the timing cover. But we're happy, we made some good progress. Oh yeah. So I don't know at which day we are, but right now you can we are just setting the engine to top dead center, and those are the marks that should be aligning. You have that dot aligning with a small notch on the engine over there. Also on this side you have those two dots, needs to be aligned with that notch. Same on this side, you have this dot that needs to be aligned with that notch. Also right here, those two stripes with that notch, and here the woodroof key should be also looking up at that mark that you have on the oil pump. So with this I will be able now to remove the timing chain, and also it's time to start doing the to remove the valve covers. So we managed to remove the valve covers, and our main goal here is to ensure by the time that we want to remove the sprockets, we are able to hold the cams using a probably 24 millimeters holding the cams to be able to undo the 7 millimeter bolts that we have right there. So the next step will be to remove the pin on the tensioner guide in order to undo this. First I will undo this top tensioner guide. We also have another one on here on the left, and we should be able to remove the tensioner. So as you guys can see right now, we managed to remove all the timing components, the tensioners, the guides, except this one. Of course, I will be removing. We still have to remove those two tensioners that are being held by those hex bolts right there on the back. And now it's time to remove the cams. So as you can see, they have those caps, 6 of them that we need to remove on each side in order to be able to remove the cam. And then we'll need to remove the buckets on each cam. So as you guys are seeing over there, we managed to remove the driver's side cams, and as you can see, this is one of the buckets that sits over the cam right there. So with this out, we should be able to mount our tool and press the valve. We still need to remove the sparking plug. So basically we will be doing 4 valves per cylinder as we proceed. So now I've just removed the spark plug that was on this cylinder in order to us to rotate a little bit the engine, make sure that we drop the cylinder, and after this we will be inserting that rope and then push back the piston to make sure that we have full coverage on the valves. So now we have the rope inserted, so you guys can see right there. I rotated the engine And now it's time to install this tool into the cam to help us to remove the keepers, the spring, and we should be able to remove the guide itself. I mean the valve seal itself. Just to allow you guys to see it in first person. To be extra careful, sometimes those keepers, they can fly. As you can see, we removed them. You can remove the spring, and then with the plier just insert it over there. And just like that, the seal comes off. So this is the part number for the valve stem seals, in case you need them. Grab the new one. And then with a 10mm, give it a light tap, just to ensure that it's seated properly. Insert the spring back. Usually I just like to do this by hand. Insert back the keepers. Grab your plastic. And just like that, folks, we managed to remove our full seal. So we just have to repeat the same procedure in other camps, in other valves, in order to finish it up. So while we catch up some bread, I just want to show you why this car was leaking so badly. If you try to see, this is the old valve stem seal and this is the new one, and you guys can definitely tell the difference of the sizes of the center hole right there in comparison to the other ones. Good people, the most dangerous part of the job is now complete. Those are the two last valves that we were replacing the seals, and as you can see, everything went smooth, thank God. We didn't drop any woodroof, any valve keepers in the engine. Whew, what a relief. After 5 days working on this, we managed to finish it up, at least from the standpoint of replacing the seals. So now it's time to start reassembling everything and make sure that we have the engine started. A quick tip here: when you are, whenever you mess with your cams, it's important to replace those O-rings. I'll just show you the part number. And those O-rings, usually they go into those grooves of those pieces that go over there. And just right here, I'm just trying to focus, yeah, and just right here on the front of the engine. So for this setup, we are also replacing the cam timing chains, because it's a good idea to do so. I have the cams on the place. We added some assembly loop, as you guys are seeing over there. We have the tensioner there, and we need to insert the sprockets with the brand new timing chain. So just to show you folks, you have that the yellow mark needs to be pointing to that notch that you have on the front, which aligns to that one. And here on the other side you have those two that need to be marked up with those two. So at this point we have the timing chain back into place. We now just need to head the VVTI solenoids back the cover and do the front cover. We should be ready to fire up this thing.
3 days later.
So another day, and we are working on the front cover now. We have to clean it up, make sure that everything is neat and installed in the engine. Yesterday we managed to do the timing as I showed previously, so now I will be preparing this whole area.
The suppression, the use of marijuana.
Since we are cleaning up the cover, we also made sure to replace the old front, the crank seal, the front crank seal. So right now we cleaned up the oil pan. Tell me if your car is lowered without telling me. But this is how the oil pan is looking. It's time to put RTV and insert it back.
Make some progress around here, folks, and as you can see, the air compressor is back on its place. Some of the accessories, pulleys, the alternator still have to bolt up the power steering, and now I'm tightening the crank bolt. And you might ask how I do to crank it up. Just using this old belt, just wrap it around there. This takes up to 160 Newton meters. And just like that, it's tightened. Yes guys, so after some good hours mounting up everything, as you can see, the engine is ready for the first startup. I just topped out the oil into the engine, just connected the ATF lines, connected the air box temporarily. So I'll just go ahead and crank it up and see how it goes. She's alive! Woo. Let's go! Let's go! She is alive. Whew. I think you guys heard the squeaking noise. Probably is one of the belts which isn't very tight. So I'm gonna head and tie that belt, connect the fans, connect the cooler lines, put some coolant and start it up again. Yeah, now. So right now we are testing out the pony. yeah folks, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. This was a tough one. For your information, I've been working since 5 a.m. and now it's 6 p.m. So basically the whole Saturday was spent working on this bad boy, but I'm happy. The results are promising, so I'm out of words. If you did like the video, please do not forget to leave your comments, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you around. Cheers.